What's cracking, good people? This is your friend and brother Robert W. JoJo Hill. Of course, man. What's going on, y'all? Slide on in here. Check this out. I want to share for this last day of the year. We've seen and we've talked about each year. We're looking at, let's go into this next year doing something that we've not done. Let's go into this next year accomplishing something that we've not accomplished. So what I want to talk to you guys about on this last day of the year, everyone say the last day of the doggone year. Here we go, man. We're going to try to help you guys to see some stuff and see some items that's probably holding you hostage in some of your relationships. It's going to be a bit interesting, but I'm happy to share it with you guys. Stay right here. It's the last day of the year, and I had to pop on because I had to tell you guys some stuff. It's the JoJo Hill Show. Stay right here. Let's get it. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is your friend and brother Robert W. JoJo Hill, the servant, the artist, and the author. And of course, I am in the doggone building. Oh, the daddy. Yes. All right, man. Here it is. Last day of the year. This is the last day of the year. Now, I reserved and I held this last show for the last of the year because I wanted us to kind of feel some stuff, because sometimes when people got too much access, they don't feel nothing. So what I want to do is just hang on a little bit, because I wanted you guys to begin to feel some stuff and understand how this stuff is affecting you. 2020, 2019, 2018, 2017, 2015, all of these things. We have so many of our folks that's gone year after year after doggone year with the same intention at the close of the year. You know, this year is going to be my year. How many of you have said that? This year is going to be my year. This is going to be it for me. I'm going to get all the stuff that I'm supposed to get, right? We've done all of these things, right? Now, here's the problem, guys. If you haven't done something that's different, you're going to continue to get the same results. I talked about this about 6 years ago. And despite the popular beliefs of some, I am the doggone godfather as it relates to this foolishness. I've been teaching this stuff for over 18 years, just in these types of formats. Now, listen to me very closely. I don't care what you doggone heard. Doggone it. Slap 3 people and tell them, say, JoJo Hill is the doggone godfather. It's funny. I kind of felt like Dave Chappelle. Dave said that he was sitting back and watching people do his show. And I've been sitting back and watching, and I've just kind of laughed, and I get the secret messages, and I get the private inboxes and all that stuff. But, you know, this is kind of the way this thing goes, and it's all good. As long as the information is being impactful and people are getting changed. Now, listen to me. I don't want you to go into 2021 with this mindset like you can do exactly what you did before and you're going to get a different result. It's not going to happen. A lot of people have focused so much of their attention on getting this good job, getting this good education, and all these things that we've talked about for many, many, many years. But this is not the solution, especially for our ladies. And I talk and I focus so much on Black people because I'm Black and I happen to love Black people. I have a wonderful desire to see Black people win. Now, one of the ways that you can begin to secure these wins, guys, is that you have to absolutely engage a process that will help you to win. What's going to be the variation? What's going to be the difference? What's going to be the difference? So one of the things that you can begin to do is look at yourself from a very neutral perspective. I had to share with someone I was counseling the other week. And I told her, I said, listen, ma'am, if you continue to do the same process, your results are not going to be different. You're going to get the exact same dynamics. It's not going to change. Nothing's going to vary. You're going to get the exact same results. So she said, well, I said, let's look at what you're looking for. Okay, it's about to be 2021. You're 40 years old, and tell me what you're trying to accomplish. And she says, well, I want this type of man. I said, all right, that's great. I understand. Now I can pretty much go down the checklist and tell you the things that you would probably want as it relates to a man, because I've seen this for many years. And I tell a lot of my folks, they say, well, Jojo, can you introduce me to somebody? Can you connect? I say, well, listen to me. The list that you're describing is probably what's keeping you single. The list that you're laying out, all of these things, all these extra points. Well, I got to have this. He has to be this. He has to be 6'8". He has to make $795,000 a year. He's got to do all this stuff. I said, okay, well, listen to me now. If you're going to do that, if that's going to be the parameters in which you're engaging, please understand that person has his own set of lists too. So you just can't throw out this list like this, you want this stuff, and this is all the stuff that you want, and think that the person that will be on the other side of that list doesn't also have a list. Do you follow what I'm sharing with you? You have to understand, if you have things that you desire in a person, be very, very, very clear that there's going to be things that that person also desires. So if you're going to walk into 2021, this is the last day of the doggone year, guys. If you're going to walk into 2021 believing and thinking that you can do these exact same things and get a different outcome, you might as well stop. Just knock it off. I can tell you right now to knock it off. It's not going to work. I've watched and I've seen for years people that they got the dopest look, they got the wonderful money, they got all this so-called education, they got the businesses, they got all these parts. But like I've been saying this stuff for years, these are not things that a guy that has a juice, not a real man. A real man is not going to have juice. It's not. He already understands. A real man that has the juice, he already knows that that's not the juice for you, because he doesn't need that. I've said this before, and I was on a Clubhouse the other day, and there was a guy on there who I know has been following me for many years. And he talked about the man and male dynamic. And I've talked about that for years. I've taught about it for years. And I'm sitting there, I'm just like, man, this dude has literally pulled and ripped so much of my information and my content, and he's out there jumping around like it's his. And I just kind of just laughed at this guy. I said, wow, that's pretty interesting. And one of the things that my mother and my father showed me years ago, they said, I don't care who jumps out there and tries to do what you do, they can't do what you do because it hasn't been given them to do it. I do this. I understand this. This is something that I've been gifted to do. It's my assignment. Now, when you start looking at these dynamics, if you have a man who's got the juice, what he doesn't need you for money. A man doesn't need you for your money. I've talked about this for many years. I have a wonderful training. In fact, I may just put a link in here for you guys to check it out. Now, listen, I want you guys to also go to the website. You'll see a promo code down there, NY2021. You can get 70% off of all the purchases over $290. In other words, if you get two trainings, two of the courses, and then one training is $147, another one's $147. If you get two of those, you will get 70% off. So you're talking about a massive, massive savings. First thing I want y'all to understand, everybody doesn't have money problems. Do you understand? Every person does not have money problems. So don't think, well, we can't afford it. No, yes, you can. If you want something to be adjusted in your life, you have to invest. Only a fool would not invest in themselves, guys. You have to invest in yourself. I have a wonderful training called Constant Relationship Failures. It's one of the ones that's over on the website. And it's amazing to watch and see how people can go year after year in constant relationship failures. You call them and say, well, what's going on with Fred, with Michael? Oh, no, I sent Michael to get. What happened to Leroy? Oh, well, no, he wasn't. No, he wait a minute, hold on. So you're going person after person, year after year, and you can never lock in a successful relationship, and particularly marriage, because I've always talked about marriage. I've been married almost 25 years, and I've never been divorced, never been separated. So I tend to have a particular degree of understanding in this area. And I know some people talk about, well, But what would make you qualified to be able to speak about these things? Well, I've been married to the same person for 25 years and I've never been divorced. So it does not mean that I've had a perfect, absolutely perfect. I mean, it seems perfect to me, but that's relative. That's an extremely relative statement. But I can share some things and speak some things that will be beneficial to people if they will hear it. Now, here's the deal, guys. There's things that you have to engage and things that you have to employ if you're going to have a successful relationship in 2021. Whatever 2020 and 2019 and 2018 did for you is not going to work. Because if those results were good, you would have had a successful situation. And this is what I'm noticing. I'm noticing our people are going year after year with the attempt of landing what they're calling solid relationships, but the relationships are not solid. But why? Why aren't they solid? They're not solid because you're engaging pieces that are designed to fail. I did another wonderful piece over on the site called the Relationship Credit Score. And I want you guys to, if you get a chance, pop over and grab that one as well. The Relationship Credit Score, what we talked about in there, we looked at how in our normal consumer-based economy, you have a credit score, and that credit score will help you to determine, and that credit score will help you to evaluate people that you should extend financial credit to, right? If the score is not at a certain point, that speaks volumes, and it begins to alter and adjust how people see if they should trust you with money or not. What I talked about and what I did in this training called the Relationship Credit Score, what I did in that training was I talked about how you should also evaluate people with that same type of mentality in terms of how you score them. You can score them. Rate these mugs. You got to be kidding me. You can rate these people, like say, hey, wait a minute, man, hold on. Let's talk about your last two relationships. What was that like? Oh, well, he was crazy. Wait a minute, hold on. I understand what you're saying. I get it. I hear you. But we have to look at this stuff and begin to, let's look at this thing very closely. Let's look at it very closely. If the last 5 relationships that you've had have not been successful, it means that you have a problem with maintaining relationships. I'm not surprised if I'm doing business with someone and that business relationship goes left, if I can look at their history and say, okay, well, they have a history of having bad relationships. No matter how well the scenarios work, they always tend to mess them up. If they're successful, if they're working, if they find a way to jack them up, I'm already confident. It's just a matter of time before they go left on me. It's not a matter of if. It is simply a matter of time. Let's see what you're saying here. I see you guys commenting. I'm gonna make this thing available. I'm gonna open it up for a couple of you guys to pop on, and we're gonna talk about this stuff for just a few minutes on the show. Because I want us to get different results. I don't want people to consistently go through the same channels, the same things over and over and over and never get results. It doesn't make any sense. If you got a person that's a doggone fool, they're going to be a fool with you. It's not a matter of if. They're going to be a fool with you. If they bust out the windows of the last person's car that they was with, it's just a matter of time. They're going to bust out yours too. So, gentlemen, we have to begin to look at that. We have to examine that very closely. We have to start looking and say, hey, wait a minute, man. It's something in this equation that's off. Why is it that you can never have successful relationships? What the heck's the problem? What is the problem? Why do you keep having these failed relationships? There's some things that a lot of people have to get over. There's a lot of things, a lot of baggage that they're carrying from year to year. So here we are going into 2021, and there are people that's carrying information and baggage from 2010. And you're like, man, what the crap is going on? Why can we never get this stuff to work? Why won't it ever work? I'm going to just do this here. All right, guys, I'm going to in the comment section, if you take a look in there, that link there will let you guys pop in if you guys want to pop on the show and we can talk for a few minutes. Now, listen, make sure you guys go over to RW Jojo Hill and grab some of these trainings. Now, anything that you purchase, if the total pops over $290, you're going to get 70% off. A lot of people have been asking me, well, Jojo, you know, we want the trainings. Okay, here it is. You can get a whole lot of these trainings. You can get all of these trainings. I don't know what the total amount is, but it's over 21, 22 trainings in there, and you'll get 70% off. If you get them all, you can get a year's worth of trainings. All of these trainings that we've done just for this year, we've actually done, good grief, it's well over 80, but we have about 21, 25 or so over there. And if you guys would like that, please make sure you do that. If you guys see the link there. All right, let's see what you said. Let's see what my guy saying. Derek, what's up, D for real? He says it's been a while. Yeah, man, it's been a while. What's up, Orlando? Good to see you, man. William Kendall, what's up, man? Good to see you, sir. Now, listen, here's the other side of this coin, folks. And let me say this. When I began the Recognizing the Diamond teaching, I wanted folks to have a solid understanding of what this stuff looks like, because what I've noticed is that people they've had access to people that were that guy or people that was that girl, and they dropped the ball. But why? What happened? They dropped the ball because they didn't understand or they didn't recognize the people when they came across them. It's a whole lot of folks that come across the right dude. Well, I mean, he just, hold on, wait a minute. Hold on. You guys heard me talk about this stuff for years. Well, I don't like, I mean, he worked at the gas station. Wait a minute, listen, dude. What makes you think that you're qualified for this person? Go back and look at some of these trainings and some of these things that we've talked about over the years. We've talked about it for years. This is not new, despite the popular beliefs of some. But people think that this is all new information because they've seen some folks pop on who I tend to think is doing a good job. But hey, man, this stuff is not new information. This is information that I've been teaching and training for years. People that are proteges of mine have learned this information and gone on and built very successful careers behind this teaching. I've always taught this stuff. You cannot have these unrealistic expectations. The expectations are just they're not realistic. This is why you're behind. Keep being by yourself. I've talked about this stuff for years. You're going to be by yourself. You're going to be by yourself. And how are you going to be by yourself? You're going to be by yourself because you have unrealistic expectations. Cornell Gaskin, what's up, big baby? Good to see you, sir. That's my boy right there. Love you too, bro. Now listen to me, guys. You can't have these massive list of information, things that you want out of these people, and think that, first of all, that they also don't have a list of stuff. They do. So you should get that settled in your mind. There's going to be things, if you got these long list of things, understand that these people too have a list. Do you understand? We're going to put a link also in there. Let's see here. Let's put a link in here. Yeah, let's put a link in there for the page. And for those of you that would like to pop over there and get to clicking, you can. And there's a link also should show up over there as well. And it's also in the promo code. If you put the promo code NY2021, it's going to give you 70% off all your purchases over $290. Ain't that a great deal? So that means if you get something for $300, you're going to get 70% off of that. So you look at that number. So that's a substantial savings. And I want you guys to participate because so many of you have been talking about getting these adjusted terms. And what is it that's going to give you the adjusted terms? You have to have the information. People are only jacked up and destroyed because of the lack of knowledge. If you don't have knowledge, if you don't have insight to what makes a thing work, this is why it's not going to work. A lot of people say, well, man, I want these kind of results and I really want what you, no, man. No. If you do, you have to do the things that that person does in order to get those results. I talk about this stuff a lot in terms of music. So if you want to get a certain sound of a record, you have to do the things that's required to get that particular sound. So if you want a country sound, you have to do the things that country people do. If you want a massive hip hop sound, you have to do what hip hop people do. If you want a successful relationship, if you want a successful marriage, you have to do what successful married people do. It's a very simple concept. But a lot of times our women, particularly our women, are not willing to do that. They don't want to make that adjustment. They think that they can just shoot out all of these terms, but then there's never any terms that's required of them. No, it has to be other things that's required in order for you to get those kind of results. Does that make sense to you? Come on, man. If y'all gonna say something, y'all need to pop on, say something, make your comments. And if you want to pop on the show, I'll put the link up there. Yeah, put the link back up there again. For you guys to pop on. If you would like to do that, slide on in and just click on that link, and we will get you guys in here. And let's see what the crap you got to say. Just click on that link and follow the prompts, and we'll get you in here. All right, New Year's coming. All right, here it is, guys. Here we go. We got 2021 right around the corner. We are approximately 12 hours away. We're approximately 12 hours away from a brand new year. Now, don't think that just because the clock strikes 12, that automatically makes you all anew. No, the newness happens in the mind. If you're going to have some adjustments to the new year, you're going to have to make some adjustments in the mind. If you're going to have successful relationships in the new year, you have to have some adjustments in the mind. Are you seeing what I'm saying to you? In the mind. It's the only place it's going to happen. Now, listen to me, man. Many of us have walked through 2020. Now, we got the pandemic stuff, and we see that. Dr. Lee, what's up, man? Good to see you, brother. We've watched people walk into the year. In 2019, I watched people, oh, this is going to be my year. This is going to be my year. And we still see that 70, 80, 90% of our women are still single. A lot of the dudes are still single. But particularly the women, because it's such a surplus. And why is it such a surplus? It's a couple different reasons why I've talked for years why there's such a huge surplus. Do you guys remember me talking about why strong men don't want strong women? And everybody lost their freaking minds. We did this piece about maybe 6-7 years ago, and everybody lost their mind. What you mean? You must hate your mother. You must be a weak man. You know, they get to throwing all of the insults and all that stuff, right? And I said, well, no, you have to understand. There's a reason that Gwen keep getting your man. Do y'all remember that? Do y'all remember I would talk about Gwen? I said, listen, Gwen is going to have your man because Gwen know how to shut the crap up. It's a powerful piece of just knowing how to shut the crap up. Some of y'all don't know how to shut the crap up. You talk too freaking much. You never shut up. You talk too... Are y'all following what I'm saying? So here's the deal. There's a certain characteristic that men look for. Remember, I talked about there's a difference between a man and a male. Just because a person is a male doesn't make him a man, right? This is an old teaching. You have a lot of people that's out there with swinging Johnsons and ain't bit more men than a man in a doggone moon. They are just, they're not. They just happen to be of the male species. So here's the problem. Our women going out there, they're doing the same thing. I can guarantee you, if we check the demographics of the people that frequent and purchase from the site the most, it's primarily women. You know why? Because dudes don't generally think that they need assistance. It's amazing. I have ladies that will go in, they buy the mentorship trainings, they buy the packages, they get it all because they're going after this stuff. But here's the deal. It's not going to make any difference if the men are not prepared on the other side. That's why we did the Male Clinic Network 6 years ago. We started the Male Clinic Network to get the men going, to get them into a particular way of thinking. But again, the dudes, y'all, they drag their doggone feet. T-Hurt, what's up, baby? Good to see you. T-Hurt says he's going live in a few. He got an announcement. Okay, T-Hurt, I look forward to that, brother. He said, girl, you never shut up. You doggone right. Now listen, man. In the male clinic network, what the attempt was to get the men prepared to handle all of these women that are going through these trainings. The women are going through them. If you go and you look, women participate at a rate that's much higher than men. So, but here's the complication. This is when it gets a little bit interesting. It gets interesting because a lot of the women are not prepared psychologically for what that information entails. In other words, you can get information that's too heavy for you, but you may not have been prepped for that particular level of information. So what happens? You get it and you can reject it. Even though you're going after it, you want to kind of cherry pick the pieces of the information that you want. So you say, well, I don't care about, I know that you're telling me that a man doesn't need my money if he's got his crap together, but I still want to throw the fact that I make my own money in his face. A man that's the man, he's not going to deal with that. He's just going to let you do what you do. He's going, hey, man, go ahead. Float on out there by yourself. If that's the position of thought that you like to take, go ahead and take that position of thought. But I'm not going to continue to try to engage you, and I'm definitely not going to get engaged to your behind, because you're already out. You're already thinking in a context that I'm not even employing. Does this make sense to you guys? So, ladies, you can't throw it. Well, I know I'm a strong black a strong black dude. He ain't gonna want that. He ain't gonna want to deal with you. I've talked about this for many years. He's just not going to want to deal with you because he doesn't need a person that's on top of their game. They don't need what you have like that. They don't need that. They need the things that their money can't buy. I've talked about this for years. So you can't make the presentation of, oh, well, I clean up. Well, I can hire a person to clean up. I don't need you for that. Well, I'm a great cook. Okay, I appreciate the fact that you're a great cook. I really do. I get that. But a man that's on top of his game, he can pay somebody to cook, or he can go out to eat. So what is it that you bring? What are you bringing that's going to stimulate that man to want to be involved with you? Do you see that? We had a wonderful training. We have a wonderful training over there on the site as well. And that particular training is called What a Wise Woman Brings to the Table of a Visionary Man. This is something that we did several years ago, but it's one of the trainings that's over on the website, rwjojohill.com. And what we talked about in that particular course, we said, what is it that a wise woman, not a strong woman, an independent woman that don't need nobody. The primary trait of a woman should be that of wisdom, not of strength. Strength is a position. We talked about this extensively. Strength is a position. It's the characteristic of a woman should be that of wisdom, because a wise woman, catch this, a wise woman can grow and develop and strengthen even further a man. She'll help him to do things that it's like he has superpowers. It's like at the same time that she can be his kryptonite, she can also be his superpower. If you don't see and if you don't understand this movement of information, if you don't understand this movement, our women have been conditioned to think that their primary attribute is how strong they are. This is insanity. What are you talking about? No, your primary attribute should be wisdom. It should be that of wisdom. So a wise woman, when she comes into the proximity of a visionary man, what I called a visionary man, because I talked about the diamond broker or the recognizing the diamond person, one that has this type of mentality, right? Now watch. A man that understands, he sees and he recognizes the value that a wise woman carries. Because if he's a smart dude, if he's a wise dude, if he's functioning with wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, or overstanding, as it were, he processes different. He's going to be like, I don't care how, nah, I don't care if your butt is so big it drag on the floor. Nah, you a fool. I can already tell that you a foolish chick. So he ain't gonna have nothing to do with you. He don't care about, well, I got 3 degrees. Having a degree, you can be an educated derelict. That's not going to do it, because A man that has his stuff, a man, not a male, a man, he doesn't need you for your money. So your education, okay, I got that you're educated, but what's been the primary connector when you start talking about education? The connector has been that, so you can prove that you don't need a man. In our community, that's what it's been. It was an incredible piece that I saw from maybe the early 80s. It was a lady from the Nation of Islam. She was really, really dope. I forgot how to pronounce her first name, but she said, white women go to college to get a husband, but our women go to college to prove that they don't need one. Oh, gut punched them. She just gut punched them. It was amazing because our people, our women particularly, has been taught and trained that you have to do this. You got to do all these things. And all of those pieces are doing nothing but pushing you away from the kind of relationship that you really desire. And I've told people for years, you don't attract what you desire as much as you attract what you are inside. If you are trash, you're going to attract trash. I don't care if you trash and you desire gold. You're not going to attract gold. You're going to attract trash, because we attract more what we are than what we desire. Because there's a lot of people that said in 2020, oh, I desire that I'm going to lose weight, but you didn't do anything to lose weight. Oh, I desire that I'm going to start this business, but you didn't do anything to engage the process. So you said it. You said that you desired it, but you didn't do anything to give you that type of acquisition. Are you following? Shakim, what's up, man? What's up, Frank? Good to see you, baby boy. Now, what are you going to do? Here it is. And we're going to jump off of here in just a second. But what are you going to do with this new year? What's going to be different? How are you going to begin to engage something different? I'm going to tell you how you're going to do it. The first order of business, you're going to go to rwjojohill.com and you're going to get these trainings. You need these trainings and these courses. You need them. We've put all this time and energy to put this stuff together so we can answer the questions for our people. If it's really fascinating to me that we'll spend so much time and effort and money hoping that people just give stuff to us, but we don't do anything to invest in ourselves. So you want something that has value, but you won't invest and use things that's of value and worth to you to connect with your future. I understand that what I carry and what I say and what I have has a particular amount of weight and energy behind it, because I've been given it by the universe to do that. I had someone call me that I've known for many years, call me the other day and want to ask some questions. I said, well, man, listen, you need to go to the site. I've already answered that question. So I talk to thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of people. And so since that's a thing, I had to put mechanisms in place that would help us to replicate ourselves where we can have access, what thousands of people can access us at the same time. And we've done all that work. I did a wonderful training as well. This is another piece I want to talk about real quick. How to monetize your creativity. Now, this is probably one of the dopest trainings that we've done. This is for the entrepreneurs and those that are looking to be entrepreneurs coming up. I'm going to put this in here as well. And you definitely need this piece. You need this piece. How to monetize your creativity. A lot of us have ideas, a lot of us have concepts, and a lot of us have these thoughts, but we haven't figured out and we haven't synergized our thoughts to help us to create the type of resources that we want. There's a lot of us to say, well, we want to get ourselves a raise, or we would like to do this. We would like to start the business, start the ideas, do the book, but we haven't learned how to monetize our creativity. Everything that you need to get all the things that you want for this next coming time and season, it's all, you already have it. It's already, you've been pre-wired with it. The universe already packaged you with it. This is incredible, man. This is freaking incredible. You already have it. The universe has already packaged us with the stuff. So what you have to do is understand how to use that. Some of the things that we covered in the Recognizing the Diamond, you have to understand why your creative gifts are not free for use. You just don't give people what you have for nothing. If you're good at it, don't do it for free. Let me say that again. If you're good at it, don't do it for free. Now, we talked about this in terms of relationships and all this stuff. That's a whole nother piece. I ain't gonna even jump. I ain't gonna even touch that part right there. But I'm gonna say what I'm saying, and I'm jumping the crap off of here. Next piece in that training is very powerful. How do you do what naturally comes to you and earn six-figure income almost immediately? I'm gonna show you how to do that in that training. How do you do that? We're gonna use and show you how to use what comes naturally to you and potentially earn 5 to 6 figure income and almost immediately. You can turn it in an instant. It doesn't take long because what you have is already enough. Someone write that out. What you have is already enough. You ain't got to figure it out. What you have is already enough. You have all of this stuff. Now, we're going to show you how to discover how you live your making while you make your living. Do you catch that? We're going to show you that as well in that training. This is how to monetize your creativity. So it's a lot of great pieces in there. And I want you guys to pop over to the site and grab the trainings because this piece is only going to be for this next short little while. This 70% off of all those things. Everything that's over $290 will be 70% off. The code is NY2021. All right? NY2021. It's going to give you all those pieces. It says, why do you not have to give away your intellectual property? Why do you not have to do that? You don't have to give away your intellectual property because it's your freaking intellectual property. A lot of people are just always giving away their stuff for nothing like you have to. That's retarded. You don't have to give away your stuff. Your IPs, you don't give them away. You don't have to give that stuff away. What you do is you learn how to put them together and then you use them to create your living. This is very powerful. This one is called How to Monetize Your Creativity. 12 keys to not giving away what you can sell. And y'all get a chance to pop over there. You can see that and do all those things. There's a lot of great pieces in there in that training. So pop over to rwjojohill.com and we want you guys to support and grab those trainings. It's going to be fantastic. Now, our beautiful ladies, we have some wonderful pieces over here for you as well because we want you to get different results for the year. But how do you get different results for the year? You have to engage something that you have not engaged. Invest, invest, invest. We have a training over there called I'm With a Fool. Now, what should I do now? It's a very powerful V-book. Now, keep in mind, guys, these are all V-books. They're full video, high definition trainings. So you guys get full access to that. It's available immediately. The downloads will happen immediately and you'll get all that stuff, of course, and that you absolutely have to have. I still can't find my soulmate. This is another powerful one for our folks. What to do when you believe everything has been done. You done everything. You think, oh man, I've done everything. I can't find my soulmate. Let me say this to you. First of all, guys, you do understand that you can have more than one soulmate. Some people think that their soulmate is only one person. No, it's too many people. It's too many humans. You can have more than one soulmate. Because there's some people that pull out things in you that someone else can't. So that means you're literally dealing with something and pulling from a wider sense of being, because all of us have multiple things and multiple people. So that's very powerful. So you do have multiple of that. All right, here's the other side of this coin. I want to share this with you guys. Black Man Protector and She Will Respond V-book. Man, it's so many cold-blooded trainings over here, man. If you guys are walking into this year and you don't get the results that you need, it's not that there aren't resources available. This stuff has already been put together and it's waiting for you on the site. Just pop over there and grab it. Because listen, guys, I'm telling you, this new year, this new format that we're walking into, that we're using, that we're going into, I believe it's going to be very powerful because it's something that I've always had in my mind in terms of how I want to kind of handle and conduct the show in pieces like that. But it's going to be very, very, very powerful. And I want you guys to participate in that. I'm super excited about 2021. 2021 is going to be dope. 2020 was dope for me. I mean, it was interesting, of course, with the whole COVID situation and all this shutdown stuff. But it was very relative. The shutdown stuff is very relative when you have already kind of planned things out. In fact, another one of our trainings is you can predict your own future if you plan for it. You can predict your own future if you plan for it. You can plan for it to work. In other words, you can plan for the things to go well. You can plan for the things to accelerate. So 2020 didn't really jack me up because I didn't plan for 2020 at the end of 2019. I planned for 2020 in the end of 2008 or in the end of 2005. I've told you guys this before, that the wealthy think in decades. The wealthy think in decades. They don't think in weeks. They don't think in days. They think in decades. So you have to be thinking, how do I secure the best scenario for myself in 2030 or in 2035? And you can do that if you plan for it. Most people don't even have a plan for 2021. They have some stuff that they'll say, maybe I'm going to make this resolution. No. Very rarely does that work. The gyms and the gym memberships are going to pop through the roof over the course of the next couple of days. It's going to pop through the roof because people like the idea of change, but most of them don't like to engage change itself because change itself is very complicated. Most people don't like to engage change because change is very complicated. People like to talk about change because it sounds good, but change requires you to make plans. You have to plan and you have to do things and make an effort to actually get things to turn and go in a different direction. This is how you're going to begin to land in these successful relationships in 2021. I'm expecting massive marriages in 2021 as a result of the teachings, as a result of the trainings, because I know what I do. I know that I'm good at what I do. I've been gifted to do this. I've been given this by the universal God to do this. So if someone will take heed and listen and grab and learn from the information, you can get the results if you just replicate the person that you're watching. It's very, very, very simple. Like I have a very specific goal that I want for myself in terms of this year. I'm jumping back on my T25 stuff this year. And I want, by my birthday, I want to have dropped. I gave myself a goal of 30 pounds by September 6th, by my birthday. I plan on dropping 30 pounds, and I want you guys to walk through that journey. So that's not that hard. That's about 3.5 pounds, 4 pounds a month. I can do that. A pound a week. I can do that and just bust my butt and doing what I have to do. But I have to make a plan for that. Now watch this. This is the thing that's so powerful about a plan. The thing that's so powerful about a plan, guys. For example, when I engaged the T25 workout plan, watch this. All I had to do was follow the plan. Did y'all catch that? All I had to do was just follow the plan. All the effort, all the stuff to get the result has already been laid out. My responsibility is to just follow it. I've done it before. I've done the program many, 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 many times before. Talking maybe over the last 2012, 2013, 2014. I've done the stuff before. So I know what to expect. And I'm getting myself worked up to that here because the process of change happens here. It's not a hashtag. It's not a yearly slogan. The thing that generates change is here. It happens in your mind. So how do you begin to effectuate things that stimulate change? How do you do that? You have to get information in your mind. So if you want to become a better cook, you have to start feeding your mind, You have to start feeding your mind information from people that are great cooks, right? And then what happens as a consequence or as a result of that, you'll begin to think like a better cook. So when I wanted to engage and push this workout situation, I said I have to get my mind together. I have to get my mind because that's going to be challenging. It's going to be challenging for me. And the process for me starts in the mind. So I'm prepped. I'm ready for this. I'm ready for this next level of movement. You follow me? Because change is not something that's simple. Change requires a mental adjustment. So most people like to talk about the concept of change, but they don't really like to do change, because change always sounds wonderful for people to talk about. Tim Mo, what's up, big baby? Good to see you, sir. People like to talk about change. They like to refer to change. Oh, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. I'm going to do the other. But you say, okay, well, what are you doing? What mechanisms are you putting in place that's going to constitute change? People don't like it. Change is very challenging. It's very difficult for most people to move and change. So what I decided, because I talked about it before, oh man, I want to lose some weight, man. I want to do this thing. I want to jump back on this program. It took some time. It took me to get to a particular place in my mind, and I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it for sure. So I'll get on my push, and folks will watch the process, because I like to lead by example. I just don't like to lead by talk. I like to lead by example, and I believe that's going to be very, very, very powerful. The other piece, another great training that's over there is, it's not on God to find your diamond. Now, man, oh man, that's a whole nother something. And I'm gonna go there a little bit right now. The church has jacked a lot of people up, and the church has kept a lot of people single. The church has kept a great portion of our women single, because if you go into the church, the so-called church that we see, you see a whole lot of single women in there. But why? If that program worked, it should be more people that were married in that system, not people that's the bulk of the folk are single. That means something wrong. So remove that piece out of the mind. See, here's the problem. I believe what church and religion has done. Now, we're talking about change. We're talking about having a different outcome for the year, right? In order for us to do that, guys, it's things that we have to begin to move in. We have to. It's not a matter of if. We have to literally begin to make these adjustments. Now, suppose you were a guy, and you knew that most of the women were being trained to believe that, girl, is he in his word? Girl, he go to church? Oh, he loved the Lord. So these are just these are like knee-jerk responses that happens in the mind. So if you've been taught that all you have to listen for and all you have to look for is the fact that he just walk up to you, praise the Lord, my sister, you be like, oh, praise the Lord. Girl, he said, praise the Lord. How you doing? Well, I'm blessed and highly favored. Blessed and highly favored. And all of those defenses are just dropping. Now, the dude could be running game. He could be running the game. All he got to do is just keep tossing this stuff out. Well, what you doing? Oh, I was just reading my word. Reading your word? Girl, he was reading his word. Girl, God sent him. And it can be a complete and utter fool. It could be a fool. Now, so here's what happens. A lot of our women are believing, well, the Lord is going to stop it. Knock it off. If the Lord was going to do that, you wouldn't have 90% of the people still single. So that tells you that that's off. Wonderful training. It's not on God to find your diamond. Ladies, it's not. Guys, it's not. God does not do that. God just simply makes presentations. Because even if you believe the scripture, the so-called scripture, it says that when Adam was presented with Eve, God didn't walk over to him and say, here, man, here go your wife. That ain't what God said. According to the scripture, according to the so-called Bible that we've learned from. The presentation was made. He presented the girl to him, and Adam checked her out and said, yo, okay, yeah, she looks like me. She ain't got no feathers like them doggone birds. She ain't got no beaks like those doggone parakeets, and she ain't got no trunk like an elephant, and she ain't got no mane like no lion. Oh, she's flesh of my flesh, bone of my bone. Oh, she looks like me. Got it. I can hook up with her. Right? So this is the movement of the house. So God is not responsible for that. And so if you don't understand that it requires your own movement of thinking, you'll keep believing that you have to do these things, and that's not necessarily so. So it's not on God for you to find your diamond. Now, listen, man, I want you guys to pop over there and check this out, man. I'm going to let you guys see. What some of those some of those pieces are. Let's see here. All right. All right, so I want you guys to take a gander. These are the things that's over on the site. I want you guys to pop over there and begin to grab some of these wonderful, wonderful trainings. All right. Recognizing the diamond, very, very, very powerful training that we have there. 12 keys to knowing why you need a prenup. Oh, that's a whole nother teaching. Woo! Whole nother teaching. Oh, when I tell you whole nother teaching, that's a whole nother something. A whole lot of you guys need that, because if you're going to be walking into some scenarios in 2021, boy, you better know how to begin to shield and protect some of that stuff. Look at this one, a bridge called depression. This is a very powerful teaching I did as well. A bridge called depression was, it helped. I had to gain some understanding when I dealt with depression. A lot of people have been dealing with that, particularly this year. What's up, Tamara Lloyd? Good to see you, baby girl. Black men protector and she will respond. It's another very powerful. Relationship failures, constant relationship failure. We spoke about that one. Has religion stopped your blessing? Ooh, wee. Y'all need that joint right there. How do you see is another very powerful teaching. Having sight does not give you vision. Just because you can see don't mean you have vision. Vision is something that's completely different. How to monetize your creativity. That's what that one looks like as well. I still can't find my soulmate. That's that other piece that we kind of shared and talked about here. I'm with a fool. What should I do now? Ooh-wee. This teaching right here, whole nother something. Here's the other piece, and this has been a challenge, and I've been a very proactive person in regards to this particular piece. Is it fair for her to go half with him? 11 keys that most visionary men expect at his table. Man, should we split the bill? Ooh, wait, that's a whole nother something. Is sleeping with the enemy the best option? That's another one of those trainings that we have. That's a whole nother piece dealing with sleeping with the proverbial enemy. It's not on God to find your diamond. We talked about that one. Money, misdirection, and mayhem. What do all these things have in common? That's a whole nother piece as well. There's some very, very, very powerful pieces in here. Are you destined to be single? That's another powerful one. The lost value of our Black women, the miseducation of hard work, of education and working hard. Another powerful piece. Very powerful pieces, guys. I want you guys to pop over and grab these trainings. It's 70% off all your purchases that are over $290. Very powerful pieces. So you can see how you can just kind of jump in there relatively quick. So you have one of the training here, recognizing the diamond, which is our flagship piece. It's also coupled with the book that we've done this year. The book is done. We're just literally finishing edits for the book. It's about 200 and some pages, and writing a book is very, very, very. It's a whole nother process. But I want you guys to take a look at all those pieces. All right. Okay, guys, it's the last day of the year. Let's walk into this year with something different. Pop over to rwjojohill.com. Pop over to the site. Grab the pieces. Grab the trainings. We want you guys to understand that there's tools and resources in place to help you get these different results. And like I said a little earlier, despite the popular beliefs of some, I am the doggone godfather as it relates to this. You guys, I've been doing this stuff for a very, very long time. Don't ever worry about it. All right, guys, that's it. This is your friend and brother, Robert W. Jojo Hill, the servant, the artist, and the author. I want you guys to be encouraged, be empowered, and most of all, guys, say it with me, man, be enlightened. The servant has spoken. I'm out.